where I really turned the corner was an event that you wouldn't think would make you turn the corner. Um, I was running the Boston Marathon 2 years after Phil was killed. I had finished 26 miles. I was running in April. I was honoring Phil and the life that he had. I could see the finish line. I was one stoplight from the finish line. I was chasing down my finish line. The first bomb went off. As I'm processing what that bomb is, the guy next to me says, "Are they doing cannons at the finish line?" And I'm thinking to myself, they don't do cannons at marathons, and certainly not for 4-hour marathoners. And as I'm thinking about the second bomb went off, and I fled for my life, I ran, and I can't remember anything, but I found myself cowering under a table in a Dunkin' Donuts store, about a half a mile from the finish line. And I was terrified. And all of the nightmares and all of the sights and smells and all of those things meshed with Bill's death. And it was a really dark place. But I got angry. And I said, I cannot let terrorism take any more from me. I simply can't. They've already taken, terrorism has already taken Phil. And terrorism seeks to destroy lives, maim human spirit. And in that moment of deciding to fight to thrive versus just survive, and that's a key thing. So initially in your storm, you're breathing through it 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour, 1 mile, 1 marathon at a time. A marathon is 26.2 miles. I've done 208 of them, and there's never one of them I haven't wanted to quit. I know it's going to hurt more tomorrow and more the next day. But I also know that if I look only at the step in front of me, I can get there. I might get lost. I might fall down. I might need to talk to a friend. I might need to take a rest. But I can get to the finish line or to a place where I know I can do it. And so the Boston bombing put me at that place. Up until that point with Phil's death, the first year I was largely really numb. The second year was a lot harder than the first year because I knew that forever was a long time then. And I was trying to figure out everything. And people had all sorts of ideas of how I should be doing it. And it didn't mesh or in line with the way I thought I should be grieving or the way I wanted to go forward. And so with the Boston bombing, I basically started tagging thrive versus just survive. I cannot live in fear anymore. I've got to figure out a way to be happy again. And happiness is a choice. And it's not something that you can force, but it is something that you can work towards. You can make decisions for. And by the way, I have low battery.
I'm getting there too. I'm at 17% on mine, but my computer uses my mic and I use my cell phone as a camera because it's HD. The downside is I don't have a battery charging. So, but Linda, what I want to ask you though about the Boston bombing, when it clicked to you, like, hell no, I'm tired of living like this. I can't live my life in fear. You got your husband on your mind. You're living for your husband. You want to make him proud, right? You know what he would appreciate. You know the type of
stand for more.
Yes. That goes through your mind. It fuels you. It fires you up to say, no more. I'm not living like this. Did it click in that moment or did it click a day later? When did that hit you?
It clicked in that moment. I wrote a blog that went viral, like over 500,000 hits.
Wait, did you write it that day?
I did.
Holy cow.
And it was basically, I'm not letting terrorism take any more from me.
And that was it.
That was it.
There was a new Linda that day.
There was a new Linda that day. And so everything I've done since that time is to look for ways to live beyond my fears. And one of the ways I've done that is I went back and ran my 100th marathon, taking back my Boston Marathon finish line. And I was terrified. Every time I hit the Boston finish line area, I know it. My body takes over. All those embedded memories come back. It was supposed to be I did the Great Wall of China as my first continent that I hadn't lived there, something totally outside of my comfort zone. but I'm running a marathon on all 7 continents, carrying a full American flag across the finish line. And the reason why I'm doing that is I'm taking back every corner of my world from living in fear. And it's not taking any more from me. They may take my life, but they're not taking me. And that's,
Wow, Linda,
uh,
you're a warrior.
but those are those choices that we all have. You can't change the cards you're dealt, but you can choose how you want to play them. And maybe it doesn't look like the way I'm choosing to play my cards, but I cannot live in fear anymore. And people don't understand. I have family members that don't understand, and it doesn't matter. It's not about their journey, it's about my journey and what works for me. And that trusting yourself, the choices that we don't talk about in resiliency, but there is an element of choice in resiliency, and we should be talking about it. And making trusting yourself is the biggest part of it. And even more than that, I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. And I was